Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural NSCAC Presents Behind the Bench webinar series. We hope everybody is well, and we'll give a couple of minutes here for everybody to log in. We are excited to share this this content with you, and we think we have an excellent first webinar to kick things off. And of course, part of our mandate at the NSCAC is to bring good quality coach education and expert panelists and speakers out to all of our members. And so we're looking forward to doing that. Again, I'm going to give a couple of minutes to let everybody joining in. I can see the numbers bumping up to 20 right now. We'll wait just one more minute before we get started and introduce the person who I'll be interviewing today. And here's some information about Coach Micheal Findlay while you're waiting. So I think we'll just wait one more minute. I see a few more numbers popping up now, a few more people getting logged in. All right. So, Micheal, if you can hear me and see me, you go ahead and unmute yourself. All good.
I am here.
Yeah. All right. So, I will welcome Coach Micheal Findlay, who is a good friend of the National Soccer Coaches Association of Canada. I won't talk too much about his bio, other than to say that he has coached and worked at the highest levels that we have here in Canada and internationally, and presently still working at the new highest level, which is as the Director of Football Operations for the new Canadian Premier League. And of course, that's what he's here to talk about today. So welcome, Micheal. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with us and all of our members here. And I will go ahead and turn it over now to the two of us who should be sharing the screen now.
Well, first and foremost, thank you to NSCAC and hello to all the participating coaches on this. Much appreciated you're taking the time to listen. I think we have a little bit of time right now in our lives, so this might be a beneficial time to do it in all those busy schedules. But great to see you, Richard. I hope everyone's well. And happy to be here.
Right on. Okay, so before we get started, I'll let everybody know who's watching. We want this to be, educational, but also interactive. So please feel free to use the Q&A box if you'd like to type in a question, and if you'd like to, also you can use the chat box, and we'll kind of stop periodically if we, if there's a question that pops up. Really the questions, of course, are for Micheal, but anything that he'd like to answer if and when questions come up. So please feel free to do that. And I think it's about time that we go ahead and get started. So as I said, I gave a brief introduction to Micheal, but I'm just going to start. If you can just let us know, let the audience know a little bit about your background, Micheal, as a coach, and how did you go from getting started in the game to now where you are with the Canadian Premier League?
Yeah, I mean, it's as it said in that bio, who is this guy? It's about a journey and it's about all the lessons, but my interest and my involvement in the game, started with my family and being an avid footballer. My mom and dad are immigrants from Scotland. My dad is a diehard Queen of the South supporter. If any of you are out there, I think there's like 3 of you actually in
That's
Canada.
very obscure. Yeah.
Yeah, very obscure. But that was the game that was chosen in our household. And, I aspired to be a professional player as a young person. And as many of us at the end of the day were not good enough. So I moved on from the game at that moment in time when my dad told me one morning, I think you should get a real job. And so I entered life outside of football. And I actually left football for a number of years. I sort of lost the passion. I think it had a lot to do with the disappointment of maybe not making the grade and what comes with that. But my journey to today really started with a very random meeting in my community with my former high school librarian, a guy by the name of Jim Crook. A great guy, a great lover of football, and a great servant to my former high school, West Vancouver Secondary School. And we just were chatting, and he hadn't seen me, and said, how's it going? You went off to the UK, the United States, to chase a dream. How did it go? We just got chatting, and I said, how's it going there? And he informed me that the school was canceling the football program, soccer as they would call it, but I call it football. Canceling the football program. And I said, oh, really? That's too bad. What's going on? And he says, well, we don't have a coach. And right on the spot, I just said, well, I'll do it. And he looked at me, he said, really? I said, yeah, I mean, if you're going to cancel the program, I'll do it. And so that was the inaugural step towards becoming a coach and entering this journey that took me from, as they say, a high school coach into the local VMSL out here in Vancouver as a player coach with a former club by the name of the West Vancouver Trollers, Mark Watson's old club, Waddy, a number of players that have been through the system, and then moved on to BC Soccer as a staff coach there. A great friend of the NSCAC, Mr. Tony Waiters, was kind enough to sponsor me in my quest for deeper education through the FA and through UEFA. So I have a great amount of admiration and thanks to Tony for helping me in that. And then it was just a staircase approach to moving through the system until I took up the Director of Football Development with BC Soccer and the old NTC program as a West Director. Started actively involved with national youth teams with Stephen Hart, and moved on from there, Rob Gale, all the way through the age systems until I was lucky enough to be approached by the former national team coach, Benito Floro, who had met with me and asked me to join his staff as his assistant and guide to Canadian football. And we moved on from there, and like all great coaches, we end up getting fired. So that's the way I look at it. And I was lucky enough to be approached by the Canadian Premier League, Jim Easton, a former national team player for Canada, who is the vice president of football operations. It's now, we'll talk about this maybe, it's now called the development department. But he approached me about player acquisition, identification, and recruitment because of being a national team coach and knowing a number of where the players were. And so that's how I got involved, and I've now moved to the point where we've reorganized the back end of the Canadian Premier League. So James is more responsible for our long-term strategies and activities around the entire league, and I've taken on this role currently on the football development side as the director.
Thank you for watching this short preview video from the National Soccer Coaches Association of Canada. To see the full video, plus have access to hundreds of other coaching videos, blogs, webinars, and podcasts, plus free and discounted coach education courses and other soccer merchandise, plus to have exclusive access to register for all future NSCAC conventions, both live and online, click on the link below to become a member of the NSCAC today. Also, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as your continued support allows us to continue to provide coach education and coach development resources to soccer coaches across Canada and worldwide.
Thank you again for your continued support, and we look forward to seeing you at future NSCAC events.